The Warden and Hawk should be inside that cave. If you are to fight alongside us, Cole, I expect you to follow orders. I confess, Solus, I am surprised you decided to remain. I assume you've heard about Prince Sebastian, Varric. Be wary. The undead can attack at any time. Sad that it came to this, but at least it is done. I'm trying to imagine what it will look like when we're done. I am very pleased you joined us, Warden Blackwell.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
We're ready! Andraste's grace. Tell me that you need me to come with you. Darkspawn. These won't be the last. As the Seekers of Truth have proven resistant to the effects of red lyrium, the Elder One has seen fit to place them in your care. Let us hope this ends better than your stories would. Save Dorian! Disregard that, and leave us. I brought you here to tell your story to the Divine. Clearly that is no longer necessary. The tunnel should be just ahead. The path to the temple lies just beyond it. Now we go to meet Leliana, part of an old mining complex. These mountains are full of such paths. The Warden and Hawk should be inside that cave. Are you referring to me? The Inquisitor believes you wish to help, but I will not allow you to threaten innocents. Why would you? They do not exist in Tevinter. The simplest spell had you white as a sheet. I've shrugged off worse in practice. It was chaos. I would hardly call it organized. Just imagine how this place gets at the height of summer. It's over. Thank you for bringing us here. All of this once belonged to the Tevinter Imperium. Andraste changed that, as did the Blights. Are you referring to me? This place would be an asset to our agents if you claimed it. I need to hit something with my sword, repeatedly. Carter, more likely. Reclaim your destiny, and know that the Elder One expects your devotion as repayment. I'm sure he is. I hope we're as prepared. Inquisitor! The breach is stable, but it is still a threat. I will not ignore it.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
The refugees should be safer on the King's Road now. I suppose it does. We'll discuss this later. One down! Providence. The Maker sent him to us in our darkest hour. Solus is an apostate, well-versed in such matters. Our soldiers have cleared a path ahead, but it won't last long. Surely these are but the Nightmare's minions. I did. The evidence seemed damning, given the lack of an alternative. I take it you think I'm frightening. We have to stop this mage. And I have no idea if my wanting these things makes any of them right. I lied to you. Killing a demon is worthy of us, at least. Yet I can do nothing until after the coronation. It is maddening. Concentrate on the task at hand, mage. There is nothing more dangerous than this place. Just the same, I wondered if you might leave now that we have a plan to seal it. I hear reconstruction is progressing well in Kirkwall. Who would choose to build a castle out here? There, one of the rogue Templars. As for what will come next, I cannot guess the Maker's plan. We need strong, righteous warriors. Now more than ever. Your devotion does you credit, sister. Agitated? You can't even imagine. With both Templars and mages here, they'd profit greatly from smuggling lyrium. Signed by Magister Calpurnia, leader of the Venatori. Why not? I only need to run faster than you. Sarah! No, he is not. Absolutely not. Your help is appreciated, Varric, but we shall see soon enough. Imagine it. To walk in the Fade and survive. Once we worked from the shadows, monitoring Templars and mages alike. I apologize. I could help if you're willing. Being more flexible than the Chantry is not a difficult goal. That stench, it's everywhere, isn't it? One of the Templar targets. Because everyone agrees on what better means. Do not doubt me. I will do it. Be at ease. We have too much to do to stand on rank. You would do the same. Trust me. Look at this. The apostates have gone mad with power. Signed by Lord Samson, commander of the Red Templars. Another Tevinter. Be cautious with this one. No! No, she is not. Ugh. That cannot be all of them. Control yourself, demon. Quickly. I wasn't trying to. Stay on guard. This bog is infested with all manner of creatures. A rogue Templar! Then how do we determine the right choices to make? True. Yet you give yourself to an order that would die to protect others. A path Did the villagers use this place for anything? The clerics are drowning me in preparations for my coronation. I must meet with everyone individually to hear their concerns. We must continue on if we are to secure the alliance. Does Corypheus not realize the promises want the world to end? What use are they to him? I suggest conscripting them. They've proven what they'll do given too much freedom. Of course! Have a care, Chancellor. The breach is not the only threat we face. Unlike you, Solus is an apostate. We will consider how this happened once the immediate danger is past. I suggest we avoid being possessed in the first place. I aim to please. You're serious, aren't you? Your glibness does you no credit. The mage rebellion was beyond even our power to control. As you wish. Though I cannot guarantee what will happen in the days to come. That I can do. There! A rogue mage! I know I want a world where people trust the Chantry and that trust is respected. It is never too late to do better and become more than what you are. It's a spirit of some... I'm not divine. Yet. The Templars have secured a position ahead. But after he gets what he needs out of them. I know you are a mage, but consider how these rebels have acted. They must be conscripted, not coddled. Back me up! I heard the voices in the temple. The divine called to him for help. Like you, Solus is an apostate. Down the ladder. That's the way to the temple. Die in the void, demon. I cannot claim to have known her well. Few can, except perhaps Liliana. This is one of the mages I spoke of. I want to respect tradition, but not fear change. I want to right past wrongs, but not avenge them. I thought you might be concerned. It is your home. There's always a chance. Harmless spirits do not always remain so. Their concerns are endless and petty. Every old grudge is now mine to solve. Do not congratulate me, Commander. This is the prisoner's doing. Well, that's reassuring. You killed the Lord Seeker? It is why I left the Order. Yes. Have you heard from any of your Kirkwall associates, Varric? That will not stop me from trying to determine the correct path. I wanted vengeance at first, but I discovered a deeper joy in duty. I am not... what was its name again? Schmooples. Let them run about in a panic without me for a while. Better than my accidentally throttling someone. She's taking flight! Although it would explain why none have numbered among the Red Templars. I was there. The Magister obliterated you with a gesture. Save Varric! The Maker does as he wills. It is not for me to say. There it is! I believe we are nearing the apostates. Be on your guard. But this doesn't explain how he captured the Seekers in the first place, or what's been done with them. You've returned to us. Can it be? Has Andraste given us another chance? Help Dorian! I heard the voices in the temple. The divine called to her for help. Understood. Keep moving. They won't be able to keep the demons off us for long. What are those things? You as well. You knew Lord Seeker Lambert? About its recovery. Justinia was a visionary. The Grand Clerics would never have chosen her had they known her intentions. I would be surprised if you did. I wanted to join the Templars, but was given to the Seekers. I suppose they dressed them in collars with jewels. Give me a reason to travel with you. I don't know how much more of this I can take. The King's Road should be safer, at least for the time being. We must keep looking. Maker, forgive me. I failed you. I failed everyone. The end must truly be upon us if the dead return to life. Help Blackwall! Providence. The Maker sent her to us in our darkest hour. We must get to the forward camp quickly. Quickly then! Spiders? I see maggots crawling in filth, a seeker on the side of righteousness. And now they will never find someone to fill her shoes. Perhaps I will never get what I want. The Maker might have other plans for you and me. You also heard the voices at the temple. Is it so surprising I listened to them? You know, Liliana used to keep one as a pet. Thank the Maker. I will tell them it's an emergency. Inquisition business. Mother Giselle cannot be far. Our abilities grant us many gifts. But a resistance to Red Lyrium's corruption? That seems strange. Nothing you do can help me now. I'll be with the Maker soon. Sarah needs help! We lost everything then. Out of nowhere, you came. The rift is gone. Open the gate.
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
That was your voice. Most Holy called out to you, but we must get to the temple. It's the quickest route. Keep fighting, soldier. Why does it matter? We are different in every possible way. Whatever regrets I have, I will endure. The world needs a leader. Most Holy was a visionary. I served as her right hand, and would have done so as long as she needed me. It's been many years since I came to this part of Ferelden. I don't want to be your prophet. He would earn respect, not steal the respect due another. The apostates have fled to the hills. I intend to find out. Then we'd best move quickly. Give us time, Commander. It's hard to trust my footing in this place. How do you know we haven't already? Some would disagree. They would call it heresy. How do you know we haven't already? It is right on the tip of my tongue. Look, that's the King's Road down there. Let's go, before someone shows up to tell me I can't. And thus Seekers would be useless to Corypheus. He would have no leash to hold us. I don't understand. What use is there in fighting him now? Cole's in trouble! Help us fix this, before it's too late. Just keep fighting. Do not congratulate me, Commander. This is the prisoner's doing. We're not there yet. Stay alert. Your earlier judgment of the Seekers was unfair, Dorian. The truth is more important than my reputation. And anyone wishing to accuse me of weakness is welcome to try. Sarah, I'm sorry. You're no longer my prisoner, much as you like to act like it. The Divine wanted a heroic figure all of Thedas could rally behind. Perhaps not. But it takes precious little effort to paint even an act of compassion as damaging. And some never find it. We are both lucky. Delightful. Well, it's going marvelously. Can't you tell? Impressive craftsmanship. To remain standing after such abuse. I know we will. One way or another. Go back in time. Then, can you make it so that none of this ever took place? Help Vivian! Do it! I'll hold them. Lieutenant, you're alive. For the Maker! I am uncertain whether to believe you. Solas, did you ever consider reforming the Circle from within? Once I might have. Today, I live in a time when anything seems possible. And how did you join the Wardens? Was that necessary? I can already see the forces lining up to oppose me. They would rather I be a silent figurehead. The dwarves were clearly up to something. I do not shy away from unpleasant things. I must know. Alexius is master. After you died, we could not stop the Elder One from rising. Solus needs help! Archers! Keep moving! Thank our prisoner, Lieutenant. He insisted we come this way. Demons! The Wardens are fighting them! You have both knowledge and wisdom. You could have made a difference. My family is nobility. I've been in Seeker training since I was 6. I walked with the Divine. I am not without sympathy, especially given recent events. That was hardly single-handed, Vivian. That will not stop me from trying. And what would you say if one judged Tevinter solely on the actions of some of its magisters and slavers? The dead will finally rest easy in Crestwood. I do not believe these are simply bandits. Their armor and training suggest something deeper. That won't be happening. I just need to get through the coronation. You must think me inhuman. Of course I am. None of this will happen. Andraste, please let that be true. Help the Kunari! Now! Careful! More enemies over there. Thank our prisoner, Lieutenant. She insisted we come this way. After all that, you give them yet another chance? No. Cole, do you have any proof about what you claim Lord Seeker Lambert did? Yes, let us dismiss your homeland as not having a single redeeming quality. I've never considered what I must look like to someone common. I must indeed seem terrifying. Tell me, what guides you? There is no such thing as a usual story. Are you sure this is the way to the surface? Liliana is already turning the chantry on its ear, and she hasn't yet been crowned divine. The area ahead is well defended. Be ready. I am. The Seekers are my family. Empress Celine was murdered. The army that swept in afterwards, it was a horde of demons. Blackwall's hurt! I do not believe she is guilty. If we flank them, we may gain the advantage. The way into the valley behind us is clear for the moment. Go, while you still can. You fear they would have made you tranquil. A perception that would last until the moment they met me, I assure you. You make decisions that shake the world, yet always seem so assured. I wish I had your confidence. The Seekers failed, without question. But the situation was complex, and you well know it. The guards need help. A mage is the divine. I would never have thought to see the day. The refugees back at the crossroads could use warm clothing. Daniel! Daniel! Can you hear me? Nothing stopped them. Nothing. Cole is down! I do not believe he is guilty. Take these potions. Maker knows what we will face. Let's hurry before that changes. Absolutely not. But he could have been brought to justice. There are rules. I absolutely do. There is more to this. You just don't want to tell it. I do not think so either. The infiltration in their ranks may be subtle. It's quite interesting to watch. I offered to remain as right hand, but she has other ideas. One of the supply caches Whittle wanted us to find. As are you. I'm so glad I found you. You're here now. Vivian! I do not believe that. Use a healing potion. Quickly then! I suppose you are right. Repairing the damage done will take great effort. Pretty as her what? I use it in the service of the Inquisition, when I must. I may not always agree with your decisions, but how many could do what you have done? Apologize to me? For what? Be cautious. They look well armed. I wish her well, regardless. The Chantry needed someone like her. A Templar, I believe. What? You can't be possessed. That's impossible. Even if we fail to stop it all now, we must try. Solus is down! My duty is to serve the principles on which the Chantry was founded, Chancellor. As is yours. We should find more potions, if we can. Report, soldier! You were a prisoner, accused and reviled. Yet you've emerged from every trial victorious. You had a friend? The walls look sturdy. Taking it wouldn't be easy. At least it is Vivienne. If anyone can handle the forces that will oppose the Sunburst throne, it is her. Red lyrium, and a would-be miner, I believe. Savages! I will tear every last one of them apart! Maker, guide us all. Fool! This is your doing. You're creating these voices somehow. There! Another rift. Where's the captain? Am I what? That is remarkably decent of you, Dorian. How kind of you. How is manipulating and bullying people supposed to be enjoyable? The Maker's grace does not make you immortal. You live or die by your own hand. That is worthy of admiration. Seeker Cassandra, if you must address me. Another stronghold for the Inquisition. What now? We live in strange times. Redcliffe Village should be just ahead. Our powers, revenge, who knows? May Andraste have mercy on your souls. No one else will. No! Varric! You must be. There is no other explanation. The mark on your hand. Use it on the rift. And Commander Cullen? Your conscience must speak more clearly than mine. It was never my Inquisition, Solas. It's monstrous. But if it stopped the Blight from wiping out the entire village, it is good to see you again, Inquisitor. I trust all remains well. Bandits ahead! I don't know. This thing inside him. Kill the Enchanter! Very well! What is the alternative? That I accept what we're hearing? Try to disrupt the rift with your mark. Wait here, soldier. We'll move on to the temple. I don't even want to know what that means. They put Most Holy's portrait on plates. Liliana recruited Josephine. They're friends. Let all your followers take heart. But I would rather you not address me at all. We are trying to help. The Inquisitor is the only one who can close the rifts. Hello, Inquisitor. They're fleeing across the bridge. Of course we'll find him. If he lives, we'll... There might be a better way in. Certainly! The same way you've been closing the rifts. I don't know. Order me? You are a glorified clerk. A bureaucrat. Yes. He is helping us. Excuse me? I have considered what you said about Lord Seeker Lambert, Cole. If it's true, then perhaps he deserved to die. Continue on this path and we'll see if it remains such. Were you not suggesting earlier I should be more intimidating? The demands of the moment. Excuse me? I doubt he'll want it back. Should we inquire? Red Templars. Corypheus must have sent them here for some reason. But a demon couldn't simply take his place without anyone noticing. They haven't seen us. We could take them by surprise. I'm injured! So what is the explanation? I can't accept this. We can stop this before it's too late. Yes, she is helping us. Though it need not have been you who killed him. I do not always agree with the Inquisitor. But I know well that I am also not always right. Who? Oh, the divine. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm not used to such unorthodox displays of faith. Oh, excellent. The blind leading the blind. A man who truly aspired to be righteous would not lie. Yes, preferably without drowning. This must be Master Dennett. Now is not the time for sympathy.
The Elder One and his Venatori. They are the ones who opened the breach.
I'm falling back!
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
She is also an intelligent woman with strong convictions. The Imperium reached even here. Friend to Emperor Gaspard. Champion of all Orlais. What makes you think I would welcome your pity? Thank you, Sarah. Maker's breath. I suppose you'd prefer to see a man in the position. Be prepared. There's no telling what trouble we'll find down here. Puppet master of the new emperor. Champion of all Orlais. Thank you, Sarah. Of course. A toast to you, my lord. I knew demons and spirits were similar, but I did not know one could become the other so easily. Whatever happens in the future, there will be changes to how Templars and mages govern themselves. That will be less amusing should it actually come to pass. I intend to find out.
He must have known this man was a mage once.
Make it take you! That means demons! Stand ready! We lost contact with an entire squad on that path. It's too risky. Not yet! How odd, since I'm feeling so much less frustrated as of late. It is not that simple. I did my part, but the power you describe was never mine to carry. I recruited Commander Cullen. If I am never invited to another Orlesian salon, I will consider that a success. Rather damp for this time of year. You're persistent. How odd, since I'm feeling so much less frustrated as of late. The fighting between the mages and the Templars has cost too many innocent lives. You should have come with me. You didn't believe in the war any more than I did.
May she find peace at the Maker's side.
Dead! You were there! Who attacked? And the divine, is she... Was this vision true? What are we seeing? How do you think we should proceed? Fight your way to the temple! Your family of slave-owning imperial magisters. I know myself, and I cannot be the leader we need. Thus, I have no regrets. I just said I served as her right hand. I thought order was restored to Ferelden. To see such chaos even here. Clearly you haven't been paying attention. What is it? Andraste's grace. Tell me that you need me to come with you. Where are the refugees? Mother Giselle was tending the wounded here. Go to the Maker's side, Daniel. You will be welcome.
This is the way to the main hall. Alexius will likely be there.
What are we hearing? And you are the one we must keep alive. Since we cannot agree on our own, he's made no complaints about my manners. Do you actually see me playing the game, Vivian? Don't relax your guard. Bandits have beset this area for many months. Think of it. Like Andraste long ago, once again the fate of Thedas will be determined by a woman. We thought Lambert was assassinated. It made the rebellion worse, and many people were killed. I need to hit something with my sword, repeatedly. Hold! We are not apostates! What? How could that be?
Andraste, have mercy on their souls.
I see it, Varric. Liliana, bring everyone left in the valley. Everyone. Unlucky me. Very well. There is that. Your opinion of me must be very low for me to surprise you so often. You were right, Sarah. I don't know that I knew Divine Justinia at all. I understand the lake has been a source of local myths for centuries. It makes me proud to know you. What is the matter with you? Corporal Vale is coordinating the Inquisition's efforts in the area. We should speak with him. Came here. Find Alexius. That's all that matters. That is Divine Justinia's voice. What happened here is difficult to bear. Varric, I'm sorry. About earlier. With the table. Wearing ball gowns and painted masks. Decking myself in jewels and curtsying to suitors. Nor did Andraste. In the beginning. Inquisition forces! They're trying to protect the refugees! Lord Seeker Lucius. Alexius locked himself in the throne room. That is where we'll find him. Liliana, have your men take up positions around the temple. He claims not to remember. It's never going to happen. Cole, you killed Lord Seeker Lambert so he wouldn't hurt people. What does Corypheus hope to accomplish? Dorian, you must know. Now that they are allied with the Inquisition, the rebel mages are likely to enjoy more freedoms. Sarah, about you and the Inquisitor, when we first met, if someone told me I would be pleased to have you lead me, I would have throttled them. You're favoring your right arm. Apostates! Lord Seeker, what you've done. The light shall lead her safely through the paths of this world and into the next. This is your chance to end this. Are you ready? She claims not to remember. I am sorry. I never thought of it quite like that, but I am. The Maker chose well. Now that they have surrendered to the Inquisition, the rebel mages are likely to lose some of their former freedom. But why would they be here? For she who trusts in the Maker, fire is her water. Then let's find a way down. And be careful. It is too convenient. I was not offended, nor did I say you should stop. So long as we're both clear, it's never happening. Is that why you went to Therenfall? Well, you have better insight into the Tevinter mind than anyone else here. Allying with the Inquisition is likely to give the Templar significantly more authority. If you are going to pursue this, make it worth it. Be happy. We'll have to see, won't we? I was not offended, nor did I say you should stop. So long as we're both clear, it's never happening. Care Oswin. Odd that the trail should lead us here. Just like old times. That is where you walked out of the Fade, and our soldiers found you. And sometimes the guilty lie. Let us press onwards. Perhaps not that sorry. I've thought about what you said before, Vivian. Oh, I'm well aware. There will be truth to your lie soon enough, if you can live up to it. I wish you well. Ban Loren is a pious, unassuming man. What has he become involved in?
There is no way to win against the creature they serve.
They say a woman was in the rift behind you. No one knows who she was. The prisoner is accused of a terrible crime. You'd feel far more if I actually hit you. Does that concern you? There is no need to tell anyone that. Varric, does Hawk ever autograph books? Then whatever, or whoever, brought you here. You are still a part of the Inquisition, and you continue without complaint. Truer words have never been spoken. We will hold the door.
Then it's up to you, Liliana.
We must strip its defenses, wear it down. It is more than that. Do you truly think the Venatori have no idea what Corypheus will do? The ball at Halam Shiral reminded me how much I hate all of it. Me, in a dress? It's ludicrous. We still have a long road to travel, Inquisitor. Wherever it takes us, I'm glad you're here. So long as you serve, I would not see you injured. Let's see what lies within. His mind is gone. He can say nothing else. Quickly! Disrupt the rift! We don't know why he was at the Conclave, or who he worked for. I enjoy fighting at your side, Bull. Yes, but it could also have Hawk's signature on it, because you will join a small group of formidable women who have changed history. I enjoy fighting at your side, Bull. Promises. I should have known. An alliance with Tevinter? Do you not fear all of Thedas turning against you? The demon is vulnerable! Now! We don't know why she was at the Conclave, or who she worked for. Now that they are disbanded, the Templars are unlikely to pose a threat to apostate mages. Hawk's taller than I imagined. You will inspire others for ages to come. Surely you know this. Perhaps we should think of something more pleasant. The Order of Fiery Promise is a cult with strange beliefs about the Seekers. They've hounded us for centuries. Altegan did not abandon his lands during the Blight, even when they were under siege. More coming through the rift! Why bother asking? You can trust nothing he says. But I will also enjoy returning to the base and sinking slowly into a steaming hot bath sprinkled with rose petals. Yes. Like that. Of course, you would say that. What have you done now? What are you talking about? It's all nonsense. We don't know what these rifts can do. That one appeared to alter the time around it. Now! Seal the rift! Why bother asking? You can trust nothing she says. I thought you would be pleased. Could he be convinced of the truth? We have, many times. Did the Magister's son give you that? Why would he help you? First, we deal with the breach. Then we learn the truth. Why do you look at me when you say that? Not the first thing. They can keep their appreciation. I like my armor. Evidently. They simply reappear after a time like weeds. Nobody knows how. We'll be on guard. There was nothing fortunate about it. If we'd been there, we could have... This might all have... Oh, not you too. I'm not a child, Varric. Do not suggest I'm without reason. They're fanatics. Drunk on whatever forbidden magic they can find to make themselves true seekers. Altegan did not abandon his lands during the Blight, even when they were under siege. No, I want justice. We do not need to speak of this further. I am not smiling. Not today, but it is still early. You're seeing things. They are less formidable than they are deranged. We don't know what these rifts can do. That one appeared to alter the time around it. What are you implying? I am not certain that's a compliment. Agreed. When it is done, I promise what you have done here will not be forgotten. It was research. I thought I might learn more about the champion. Ugh. I am not certain that's a compliment. This explains why the Seekers might be here, but not the connection to Corypheus. I don't have the mark. But point taken. Please stop. I'm not a giddy schoolgirl, Dorian. This is your doing. I do not harm a seeker. It is a question Liliana and I will ask ourselves for the rest of our lives. I assure you. I highly doubt that. I'd already read that one. Twice. Exactly. I do not trust any event where hitting someone isn't an option. I highly doubt that. Did they torture him to death? I did no such thing. What? You're smiling a great deal these days, Dorian. How do you expect I might feel? Wait! I see the Inquisitor kept you around. I would not have were it up to me. The promises will pay for this. Which means you are now free to go. I have enough mysteries and investigations of my own. I am when it suits me. Nobody expects a battering ram to wear a dress. Here comes the hero of our age. Most of my life was dedicated to the Order. I did so much I believed was good in their name. He was my apprentice. I have never known a finer young man. They don't know that. And neither do we, yet. Interesting. Though we do not break the minds of our prisoners. Do you always do it while staring dreamily into the distance? The Dales have seen so much conflict, and yet they're still beautiful. Nothing should happen to her. She was falsely accused. Is it? What do you know of me? Even less than we know of you. Now we find Lord Seeker Lucius. And an enormous mouth. Then you killed my favorite character in Chapter 3, so I threw the book across the room. My thoughts exactly. My ancestors hunted dragons here ages ago. Hard to picture what it was like then. I assume you have advice. He was insane. He had to be. Varric did not destroy the Conclave. I take it your father returned to Tevinter, Dorian. Nothing so base as that. Vivian, about you and Duke Bastien. Keep your wits about you. The Dales are treacherous. Don't tell me! You have no right to determine what is beneath me. Not now, not ever. Perhaps the Envy Demon's influence? Remove the Lord Seeker so it could take over the Templars? There's no point in asking, Varric. Yes, it is. Thank you, Cole. I appreciate that. Varric, how could you let the Knight Captain be framed for murder? You know, out here, I almost feel like I could forget about the war. Almost. Yes, it is. The influence of Corypheus, perhaps? Was he trying to disable the Seekers? A new divine? Hopefully a new attempt at peace. So, Cole, I understand you are safe from binding now. My father died when I was very young. I barely remember him now. I noticed, Solas, that you did not seem surprised by what I uncovered about the Seekers. You were together a long time. It's quiet. A little too quiet. Thank you. As you wish. I was going to pursue it no further. He could not have destroyed all of us. I won't accept it. This way, down the bank. The road ahead is blocked. How do the Ben Hasrath deal with such problems? I have faith the Inquisitor did as she thought best. But she didn't deserve it. You'd already put her through more than enough. Did the Inquisition build these here? Or did someone have to carry them? How do the Ben Hasrath deal with such problems? Let us return to Skyhold. I wish to see what's in this book of secrets. I hope Liliana made it through all this. You think organizations to be inherently corrupt? I have faith the Inquisitor did as he thought best. I understand. You have my sympathy. And if it is too large to ignore, fear of falling? That makes no sense. And if it is too large to ignore, it is. Although I'll not ask how you heard that. I did not say I had no problem. I said I have faith. I only wish to express my sympathy, Vivian. I wonder if I have time to read the first part. It isn't meant to be. And it ends here. What made you write about Hawk? All your other books are complete fiction. Mighty tamer of the Order of Templars. You make the Seekers sound like a mindless beast. Certain ones. I'm surprised they use the right in your homeland at all. What are you talking about? My weapon's nowhere near. No sign of the dragon. It must be in there. Mighty tamer of the dreaded Mage Rebellion. Certain ones. Perhaps I do at that. Yet your book is still full of lies. She is also a woman of strong convictions and great faith. Once lowly prisoner, now the fabled Herald of Andraste. Former apprentice. Daniel completed his training with me years ago. I don't know what you're talking about. What the Templars did to you. To the real Cole. I knew the treatment was harsh, but the reversal process is not simple and must be investigated. But yes, it will have implications here and abroad. I know what occurred in the Fade troubled you. If you ever wish to talk, savior of Empress Celine, champion of all Olay. I don't know what you're talking about. Solas, I am sorry about your friend. Why is the second, hard in Hightown, so completely different from the first?
Video by Selfie Gaming. Subscribe, like, and follow.
Everyone in the Empire has gone completely mad. Andraste, guide us. An army fights and dies for us. The longer we tarry, the more soldiers we lose outside. Let's jump down and be done with this place. She's worried about this well, not Corypheus. The entire temple must have looked like this long ago. How could the elves pour such devotion into this nonsense? I do not like this. She is far too eager. And what would you do with it? You could be worse than Corypheus. If it is truly between you and her, then let her take the risk. Make her help us all. I do not know. If there is risk to you, Maker, please, don't let it end this way. Is it over? Is he coming round? I knew this would happen. Inquisitor, how do you feel? Is it over? Is she coming round? I knew this would happen. By editor, do you mean your crossbow? Ah, here comes the hero of our age. You are right. He was a good man. Thank you. The Inquisition may have a say in such changes. I would appreciate any insight you might have. I know what happened at Adamant troubled you. If you ever wish to talk, the decision rests in the hands of the Grand Clerics. Mighty tamer of the Order of Templars. Daniel had raw skill. Everyone could see it. He knew it himself. That might be true with the spirit of compassion, but what is the purpose of a hunger demon? Mighty tamer of the dreaded Mage Rebellion. I don't want to think about that right now. The Chantry needs to change, and I would see it done, but we should deal with the rift. This area will not be stable until it is gone. Savior of Empress Celine, champion of all Olay. You would think so, but no. He was attentive, to the point of irritation at times. That takes no magical gift to understand, Cole. It seems anything is possible these days. Who does? If I am chosen, then I pray it is the Maker's will and not ambition that guides me there. Friend to Emperor Gaspard. Champion of all Olay. He was under the impression I had something to teach him. You're right. I do feel better now. It might be wise to prepare for ice spells, all things considered. Puppet master of the new emperor, champion of all Olay. I had not considered how fighting in our world might affect the Fade. Is it always thus, Solas? The same could be said for Lambert or Lucius. A single moment of perfect faith does not make one immune to fault. We do not engage in pitched battle for the position as you do in Tevinter. When I punched the wall, perhaps. Once lowly prisoner, now the fabled herald of Andraste. He was. Having who on? Is she all right? Is that how the book ends? First Thor. Really? A toast to you, my lady. I should ask Mother Giselle to hold a service for Alistair. We must honor his courage and his sacrifice. So, Bull, about Dorian. Indeed, the slaughter occurs after he becomes divine. It is said that generals should avoid fighting in the same battlefield too many times. They were all talking, weren't they? I wouldn't dream of it. Yes! What of it? I should ask Mother Giselle to hold a service for Stroud. The Inquisition must honor his sacrifice. Blessed are the peacekeepers, the champions of the just. I really am. My family is as pretentious as it is large. Cole, what happens to her? Terrible what has been done to this place. Yes, we're all changing, aren't we? Everything's changing. You should attend Blackwall. But nothing is ever said of the effect war has upon the world of spirits, what we might be doing to them. Be wary. These mountains are the perfect place for an ambush. Certainly not. It's much more squeaky, naturally. Isn't everything about you? If the Archdemon survived a fall into the Abyssal Rift, I wonder if it can be slain. If you're both pleased. So, Cole, you've forgiven the Templar who killed you? I have them stitched into all my clothes. Oh, sweet maker. These mountains are beautiful in their way. They remind me of the Vimarks. It is now what it always is. If you are to join the Wardens, you should pay respect to one who actually served. What do you mean? I do not rough people up. Watch your footing. There's a lot of ice and snow. You pretended to be a Warden long enough. You should pay respect to one who actually served. I am reminded of what I was told following my vigil. You will not answer that. In this weather, I'm glad for my armor. Honeyed words. Liar's tongue. And I fell for it all. Would you join us, Blackwall? One of his own should attend. They said my abilities were a gift from the Maker, a reward for my faith and dedication. You will never let that go, will you? I did not realize it took so little to exceed your expectations. How could I think you loved me? You of all men. I think that's the first time I've heard you admit anything is complicated. We've seen that Corypheus is immortal. Does that mean they both are? But it was a trick, wasn't it? A ritual no different than the harrowing, simply magic. I can be that man. Did you even believe the words as you said them? Alistair speaks highly of you, Blackwall. Meaning what? It cannot be slain unless he is? Some things cannot last. Coddling the mages, encouraging them as if they didn't almost cost us everything. What the Templars did to you, to the real Cole. I knew the treatment was harsh, but jealous? Of Dorian? Not all my feelings involve stabbing. Rebuilding is not enough. I would see the Seekers forged into something greater than what they were. Coddling the Templars, as if they weren't complicit in their own corruption. You knew his mentor, Duncan. Thank you, Solas. That does make me feel better. No one ever knew. Their heroism was lost to history. You played the damned game Orlesians love so much, mincing around like the rest of them. Why are you looking at me like that, Dorian? I see them. Whatever happens in the future, there will be changes to how Templars and mages govern themselves. I hope so too. I am somewhat surprised you didn't follow Hawk to Weishaupt, Varric. I have watched you. Even exalted you as you straddled the world. What was he like? Keep wondering. If my uncle couldn't put me in one, neither shall you. Solas, I assume you know it's possible to reverse the right of tranquility. And I'm the one who raised you up. The Inquisition may have a say in such changes. I Would appreciate any insight you might have. You are aware his room has a lock, Bull. Surprising you would say that. What about Isabella? Will she? I fear the Seeker's time has passed. If there was something worth saving, it is gone now. How clear you make it. I understand Loghain is not highly regarded in Ferelden, despite his efforts against the Blight. You are aware her room has a lock, Bull. I'll take it. I'm not promising to follow it. You undoubtedly saw more of it than I ever did. I know of only one mage thus cured, and he had no control of his emotions. He was distraught. What about Anders? Will he? Clearly you are innocent of all that followed. You are aware her room has a lock, Bull. Do you think that would have passed if the Tranquil are cured only to end up thus? Says the non-believer. He doesn't deny the claims, but I'm not certain he accepts them either. Some people might find that useful in future. What made you change your mind? They're dark and full of undead. And the smell of stale incense still makes me want to vomit. What about Fenris? Will he? Then let it be someone worthy. So began the animosity that led to the destruction of the Dales. Praise the Maker and his infinite wisdom. Some people might find that useful in future. Perhaps this would be a good time to stop talking. But he died here, and the elves ignored the second blight as it spread across Olay. I have been such a fool. Forgive me. He is your comrade. That was insensitive. Yes, I'm sure the room and its contents are very distracting. Thank you. What about Merrill? Will she?
But he never returned. And the elves of the Dales ignored the second blight.
Corypheus still lives. My work is not yet done. Yes, I'm sure the room and its contents are very distracting. Thank you. Bull, what happened to the charges? You have my sympathy. Of course. The Mortalitazi lure spirits to possess every corpse buried there. That may be a risk we are obligated to undertake. It's fine, Sarah, but this isn't the place to discuss it. Leave me be, Inquisitor. Go, do what you must. Stroud shares your reserved nature, Blackwell. It must be a common trait among wardens. Would that not be impractical? I was hoping we could speak privately. I try, but don't always succeed. You do your best, and have faith it will turn out as it should. Yes, and I know what it costs those who live to see it through. Only in the abandoned areas. The rest are sealed up in their tombs, I suppose. I admit, I know little of their meaning, but I did not think it was possible to remove Dalish tattoos. Sarah, I was speaking with Dagnar recently. Did you take some of her tools? What about Prince Sebastian? Will he? The flirting, at times. The Inquisition will honor their memory. You may regret that notion, but I wish you well. I prefer the half that keeps blades out of my innards, personally. With me, I've noticed it, unless it is my imagination, which is entirely possible. The Inquisition will honor their memory. So, Cole, Varric tells me you are a spirit of compassion. After a time, the moaning grates on the nerves. Trust me. Then why did you have it in the first place? And Hawk's brother? He's still alive, isn't he? Dreamers are said to be sensitive to demons. A creature like Hakon would have caused Tilana terrible pain. The remarks, when you look at me and keep trying. I'm certain you'll get there. I'm glad your men will continue to fight at our side, Bull. I wanted him to testify about the events at Kirkwall to the Divine. When you look at me and I completely misread the situation, I'm glad your men will continue to fight at our side, Bull. How does compassion become such a deadly killer? I don't have any control over how I'll be remembered. Of course, I should not have asked. What hinges? Carry on, Inquisitor. I still my mind and focus my thoughts on the Maker. I would not trade the charges for any alliance. You seem troubled. And Hawk's sister? She's still alive, isn't she? The Divine also wanted him to autograph her copy of Hard in Hightown. After all the battles, this area is quite chaotic. We should be careful. Inquisitor, I hope you understand I cannot return your affection. I ask for his guidance. I ask to be reforged into an instrument of his will. I am truly sorry. Blue scarf. Why would I be wearing such a thing? That's comforting. Much of Gaspard and Celine's war has been fought here, you can tell. You are the Herald of Andraste, and my leader, and a woman. What about you? How do you center yourself? You are considered Talvashoth now, Bull. The Inquisitor. He seems... It was a minor consideration. You should feel flattered. It's telling how quickly even the most peaceful area can descend into chaos. A dwarf getting on someone's nerves. I can't imagine. You cannot court me if that's your intention. It's impossible. You are considered Talvashoth now, Bull. The Inquisitor. She seems... What? No! Why would I? Almost every Orlesian noble keeps a winter home in the Dales. It's a mark of status. And that is a bad thing? I cannot be properly courted. Well, that's... I admit I don't fully understand what that means, but I am sorry. I'm not still a seeker. It's a pretty enough area, but still dangerous. That should be obvious. I admit I don't fully understand what that means, but I am sorry. I am a seeker in service of the divine. I am a warrior of truth. You would find a way. You intend to properly court me? You of all people. I knew the story more than the man. I see. Yes? I would absolutely drag you there, without question. About Hawk. I take it back. That is what I want. Only the Maker knows everything about everyone. But it doesn't hurt if people believe it of Liliana. We hear odd stories of Templars in the Imperium, Dorian. Yes, I suppose they will at that. Sarah... Why would you assume I should use my training to assault an animal? I am ill-suited to finery, Vivian. Besides, I can accomplish more as I am now. I want a man who sweeps me off my feet, who gives me flowers and reads me poetry by candlelight. I want the ideal. I knew the story more than I knew the woman. You know me well enough to know the answer. But what about Isabella? Does she? Inquisitor Ameridan, who helped bring the Inquisition into the Chantry, built the shrine for the Maker and the elven gods. Courtship. Surely you've heard of it. It keeps people honest. Perhaps not. Sometimes knowing that isn't enough. I haven't even told you what I've heard. But what about Meryl? Does she... I try to do the Maker's work. Where I stand while doing so is unimportant. You are the Inquisitor and the Herald of Andraste. You cannot be that man. Besides, if there is anything to learn, Liliana will learn it. I've seen her work. It was Justinia's likeness. If we had not been in the Fade, I am a warrior. I am blunt and difficult and self-righteous. Oh, I was leading towards that one, actually. You're not as handsome as you think, Dorian. Tell me, Solas, you met the spirit in the Fade. Could it have been Justinia? No. No, Andraste did not specifically say one should not punch bears. But what about Anders? Does he? You've adjusted to the Inquisition quickly, Vivian. We must lack many of the luxuries to which you are accustomed. But my heart lies beneath all that. It yearns for these things I cannot have. Be easy, Cole. I will be fine. I'm pleased it causes you so little trouble. Solas, you heard of the spirit they encountered in the Fade. Could it have been Justinia? But what about Fenris? Does he? If you cannot see that, then desist. What enamors you is but the surface. Why? You can take it. Anyone who claims it as often as you do must be dreadfully concerned they're not. Sarah, how are you not dead? But what about Sebastian? Does he... Skyhold is hardly the Orlesian court. I am flattered, Inquisitor. I truly am. But let it end here. Cole, I do not wish him ill. She helped us. As Justinia would have. The world hinges on our actions. We face death at every turn, Inquisitor. I did not realize you were made of glass. She helped the Inquisitor, as Justinia would have. I was trained from childhood by the greatest swordsman of an age. It changes everything. That's not the song they were playing. He is a coward who abandoned his men, a man who wishes to atone but lies to do so. My uncle did, waves of them, until I broke one's arm. Then there were fewer. You were apparently orphaned to the street with your wits and a quiver. Neither full. You've heard correctly. Necromancy is not uncommon in Navarra. Does it now? He is a coward who abandoned his men, a man who wishes to atone but lies to do so. I suppose that is all we will ever know. You speak as though I could forbid it. I think too much of myself to settle for less. Plenty. You don't think much of the Grey Warden, Solas. I didn't know your friend, or see her Eluvian. If you have an issue, speak with Lady Morrigan. I have always found the practice morbid, but the stories one hears outside Navarra. I appreciate the attention, Inquisitor, but you have more important matters to attend to, as do I. It was an accident. Mostly an accident. I cannot help but feel as I do. Andraste's what? Such fascinations reveal far more about the teller than the truth. I take it as a compliment, truly. I hope we can remain friends. I suffered from hay fever when I was small. My brother joked I should punch a tree in retaliation. The Pentaghasts are a large clan, Dorian. I cannot know them all, nor would I want to. I am not blind to their failings. But Hawke and the Inquisitor are alive now because... Varric, you are aware that I'm a candidate for the Sunburst throne? You would prefer to have the Templars return to guarding the circles, Vivienne? I think perhaps I do. So I did. And the sneezing stopped. I've done it ever since. Be that as it may. I think not. The eye is wreathed in fire. The light of the Maker and the flames of Andraste's sacrifice. Not due to pestering, that's certain. I believe it may have been safer, but we cannot know for certain. Oh, I do know him. Cousin Lauren, with the wandering hands. Not a single snide remark. Few mages would ask for Templars in the circle. You can't be serious. I cannot place your fighting style. And I have studied the martial arts for years. And that is the poem you chose? She was. I don't look forward to your needling, but its absence is telling. Carmenum de Amatus. I thought this one was banned. We must pray that it never comes to that. He cannot. Let us leave it at that. A harsh assessment, but after adamant, perhaps not undeserved. No, there we don't go. His lips on mine speak words not voiced. A prayer. He cannot. Let us leave it at that. The wardens fell. The Inquisition need not follow suit. Solas, if you do not mind me asking, what do you believe in? Am I to understand your Bianca is married? Provided they fulfill their purpose, which travels down my spine like flames that shatter night. I have other duties. I'm conceding. I wasn't very interested to begin with. Too many have suffered since the Mage Rebellion began. But we cannot ignore the abuses that prompted it. You do. Always. His eyes reflect the heaven stars, the Maker's light. Why not ask Iron Bull? He is always willing to hit something. That is not what I meant. Without change, we risk repeating the events at Kirkwall. My body opens, filled and blessed. My spirit there. Then we must be vigilant. Why do you need a trebuchet? Conceding. I'm giving up. Forget I mentioned anything. They will say one of two things about me. Why do you need a trebuchet? It was a simple question, Varric. It is bitterly cold, but I've never seen a clearer night. That I stood at the Inquisitor's side, his protector and his lover. That it was meant to be. Thank you, Cole. I think. I don't think that's an appropriate use of Inquisition resources. I never met Clarel. But I will take that as a compliment. You are not from Olay originally, Vivian. How old do you imagine these ruins are? Or they will say I was led astray by the wiles of a Kunari madman. I'm sure you'll manage. I will never get the dust from my throat. Or they will say I was led astray by the wiles of a dwarven madman. Very well. In Thedas. I am surprised you accept fighting at a woman's side, Bull. I understood Kunari women did not fight. I would rather you didn't. I ask because of your accent. I would have thought, once you joined the court, be wary. Many predators come out at night. Or they will say I was led astray by the wiles of an elven madman. Yes, not that it concerns you. You have seen much sadness in your journeys, Solas. Following the Maker might offer some hope. Perhaps if you told me the rules, this would be a good place for someone to hide. If they could survive the climate. Or they will say I was led from the path of faith by the wiles of a madman. I did. I still miss him sometimes. None. I wish someone had told me that when I was younger. I've feared you since the moment I laid eyes upon you. Thank you, Cole. I appreciate that. But she wouldn't physically become male, surely. What of Magister Erimond? Do you sense a secret pain in him? Solas, what do you think this Corypheus actually is? Ugh. I assume your parents were Rivaini, Vivian. I have never known anything like it. Is that a true fact or another fabrication? If you wanted sweetness and light, you picked the wrong woman. Here's a guess for you, Sarah. Ansberg. And do you think of me as male, then? Well said. But what of the orb he wields and the dragon he commands? This is no ordinary darkspawn. This is not a discussion I want to have here. You don't remember? I believe you are a faithful man. If you even think about saying she'd be like me, I will hit you. I believe you are a man who does not share my faith. Fine, then. However, I believe you are the herald of Andraste, even if you do not. So I'd gathered. Please leave my mind, Cole. Solas, the dragon Corypheus commands, could it truly be an archdemon? I don't really know Ferelden that well. I'm aware. I'm also aware they grow larger with each retelling. I believe you are part of the Maker's plan. I'm sorry. Beyond that, I believe only that you are capable of anything. And it frightens me. I do not feel bad. The bandits needed to die. So what is it then? A corrupted dragon? Simply another darkspawn? Another guess, Sarah. Were you born in Denerim? I have no conquests. From what I've heard from so-called witnesses, I have to wonder. I've been with only one other man in my life. Much like her brother, I would expect. Flip? A mage, with whom I adventured when I was still very young. Flip? It makes you wonder if that's all the archdemons themselves are. Pets to beings who no longer exist. That was the question that began this whole thing. No. If I was someone else, perhaps. I simply did what I needed to do. He died at the conclave. How do you stand the Skyhold stables? I will not let Corypheus win. I will not let him take you from me. Thank you. I suppose. Liliana and I were delayed returning from Kirkwall. I knew you would break my heart. I knew it. And I wanted this anyway. I can't imagine finding quiet time in that stench. We would be dead if I did not. Ass. Very well, Varric. If you wish to know about men I have known, I will tell you. Let us pretend a while longer. Let tomorrow be tomorrow. No. You say you've witnessed past events in the Fade, Solas, or the memories of them. Here, tonight. I believe you. They're not horses. They're dung monsters with hooves and tails. But the Fade distorts reality. Surely it cannot offer a true reflection of what occurred. You were right. I pried first, and fair is fair. I'm not so certain. If we had only... Perhaps. But that will not prevent me from trying. What is it, Cole? Why the odd looks? I suppose that could be done. Don't you want to guess? Years ago, I knew a young mage named Regalian. He was dashing, unlike any man I'd met. Ah! Yes. And if you joke about the right hand not knowing what the left is doing, I will punch you. Thank you. But I suspect I will be telling myself that for years to come. I don't know what you're talking about. He died at the conclave. Ah, yes. They are delicious, but do not last long. You so rarely call me by my name, Solas. Why is that? What does that even... I was born in a carriage halfway between Cumberland and Valchevin. What would I have to blush about? That whetstone you lent me. It produces a remarkable edge. Oh, that. Just reports from Commander Cullen. What we had was fleeting, and years have passed. Still, it saddens me to think he's gone. So my brother claimed. Not quite the lap of luxury you were picturing, I assume. I'm not hiding anything. Exactly. Manners have not held you back on other occasions. What's the alternative? Relax and let it kill us? Sometimes it's difficult to accept the kindness of others, but it can be worth the effort. It's of no interest to you, I'm certain. That won't be necessary. I know. I was not trying to make you speak of Bianca. It's a book. Are we to know what that means? I feel no great calling in my blood. Sorry to disappoint. Just because they don't see you doesn't mean it isn't theft. Solas, Have you always lived alone? Out in the wilderness as an apostate? If I was, you would know. I would yell. Books would be stabbed. You're seeing things. It's one of Varric's tales. Swords and Shields. The latest chapter. Thank you. That's very kind. It's frivolous. There are more important things for me to do. Would that not be incredibly trying? If somewhat blasphemous. I still don't understand how drakes take that hand. Not since this all began. We've been busy. Who are you talking about? Yes, in my youth. With help. What does that mean? It's a minor diversion. Majestic. Say that after you see a pile of dragon shit bigger than your house. Isn't that a children's game? You! I told you to stop spying! That is an excellent point. You're not going to press for the details. It was fine work. I will remember to thank him when we are back at Skyhold. I've wondered, how did you know to approach us, Solas? I'm not saying it again, Sarah. You're not going to press for the details. Have you been taking notes on all this, Varric? Nobody asked you, Tevinter. The breach opened. We were scrambling and barely had time to think. And there you were. Into darkness, unafraid. Was that a question? Am I supposed to? You must not have been far away. The Inquisition. You're not planning to write a book about us, are you? It's literature. Smutty literature. That move you performed in our last fight was well executed, Bull. I'm impressed. Maker preserve us. Whatever you do, don't tell Varric. That move you performed in our last fight was well executed, Bull. I'm impressed. Lucky for us, then. Please don't keep mentioning it. Pleased? Yes, that's one word for it. The Grand Necropolis. Yes. I never saw the point. If you had done that in our last sparring match, you might have won. Sarah, I noticed one of my books is missing. I only started reading them when I began looking for Hawk, as research. If you had done that in our last sparring match, you might have won. I had hope, as did we all. You? No! I would rather not think about that. You're the Inquisitor. Liliana's rank equals my own, insofar as our rank means anything outside the Chantry. They're terrible. And magnificent. Picked that up from my head, did you? Cole didn't take it. And this one ends in a cliffhanger. I know Varric is working on the next. He must be. The war was going nowhere for either side. That they went at all showed they realized this. I declared the Inquisition, but I don't know that I'm best suited to command it. You could ask him to finish it. Command him to... Stop going into my quarters. How many times must I tell you? We shall never know now. The one with all the illustrations. Perhaps you're interested in the position, since you seem so interested. Pretend you don't know this about me. Cole, I found a locket on my pillow earlier. Have you never encountered Templars before? You don't know how to ask permission first? There's almost no mention of your part in the tale of the champion, Varric. It was my grandmother's, actually. But it had Antony's portrait inside. I thought I'd lost it. And they never caught up with you even once. You don't want to incriminate yourself, you mean? Oh? Thank you. As Navarans, we pay respect to the departed in family crypts. I'm watching you, Varric, just so you know. What is it like when Templars nullify magic, Solas? Not in the way you're picturing. No one to concern yourself with. Nothing. Yet... just keep it that way. And our powers drive it back, making this world harder to affect? Well, now you know. My ears will be ringing for weeks. Now I'm thinking about something else. Can you guess? Is this another game? No, the Inquisitor believes you wish to help, but I will not allow you to threaten innocence. No one has ever accused me of reinforcing reality before. Try to be quiet instead. I don't wear underpants. It is interesting to hear a mage's perspective of our abilities, Solas. Sarah, was there ever actually someone named Red Jenny? Is there a problem? I know my abilities do not come from the Maker, as I had once thought. You don't ever wonder how your organization got started? I am taught my abilities come from the Maker, You probably think it's silly, or they don't do it. That would be giving it too much credit, that's true. You believe in the Maker? Why? Are you eager to see me go? Redcliffe has seen more than its share of troubles. That the rebellion should play out here. I do not always agree with the Inquisitor, but I know well that I am also not always right. Not every Pentagast is wealthy. I certainly was not once my parents were executed. It can't properly be called a war any longer. It's a free-for-all. Mages against Templars against everyone. She helped the Inquisitor, as Justinia would have. How do you know I wouldn't just drag you along? It seems the Ferelden army has chosen to stay clear. For now, I am not blind to their failings. But Hawke and the Inquisitor are alive now because if by dead you mean a Mortalitasi necromancer, a keeper of the dead, then yes. The people here should leave the area. It's too dangerous. I am not blind to their failings. But Hawke and the Inquisitor are alive now because, like fungus, stay alert. The chaos has made this part of Ferelden more dangerous than ever before. I am not blind to their failings. But Hawke and the Inquisitor are alive now because, hence my joining the Chantry. No. Sarah, do you believe in the Maker? I just thought, the way you've lived, but you're a thief. You do not? True, but only those I must. Most Holy did not confide her plan to me. Perhaps she thought they were tired of death and conflict. I will not mock a dead woman, Varric. She did what she could, and that is more than most. I think it's time you stopped playing the wounded party with me, Varric. I did no such thing. I questioned you and then brought you to Haven so you could tell your story to the Divine, and ignoring the fact you did lie to me. Do not pretend to be an innocent bystander. I could have done far worse, with full justification. How do you write as you do, Varric? I can never find the proper words. I've needed to describe events in reports. They always come off as, all right, yes. Except during the Blight. You are an ass. Odd that the shards would lead us here. Who knows what dangers could lurk in the sands. Many old mines in this region. Most are likely near collapse. I thought she needed to see the chest hair for herself. I thought she needed to hear it from the horse's mouth, as it were. I also knew she would ask you to help us. A crazy thought, I know. Yet here you are. Varric, does Hawke ever autograph books? Yes, but it could also have Hawke's signature on it. Hawke's taller than I imagined. What made you write about Hawke? All your other books are complete fiction. I am somewhat surprised you didn't follow Hawke to Weishaupt, Varric. And Hawke's brother. He's still alive, isn't he? They call it the Waking Sea, because it's said that here the Maker's wrath was awakened. This region is known for its pirate coves. Be on the lookout. And Hawke's sister. She's still alive, isn't she? The damp cuts right through your armor, doesn't it? Surprising that there are no ships. This time of year there should be plenty. About Hawke. It was research. I thought I might learn more about the champion. There's almost no mention of your part in the tale of the champion, Varric. Can't see anything through all this mist. There could be an ambush around every corner. I loathe coming here. I'm tempted to show you the Grand Cathedral. Perhaps next time. All these nobles, so busy climbing over each other. Do they not care what's out there? To these people, anything beyond Val Royeaux is utterly irrelevant. The beating heart of Olay. You could wander the streets for days and never see the same thing twice. Travel far enough south. You reach the Gamodan Peaks and then the Sundered Sea. Not a popular route. Sometimes the sandstorms last for days. The wind blasting the flesh from your bones. Olay claims this land, but that's just lines on a map. Truly, this desert belongs to no one. This is possibly the most hostile terrain in all Thedas. Blasted sand. It's everywhere and gets in everything. It is recovering, but that doesn't make it any less dangerous. More politics and double-dealing. Is there anyone here who is not corrupt?